This is another day that Yahuwah have made for us. Let us rejoice. Today we'll be looking on who was the Messiah sent for. Before I go any further, let me see if I could blow my shofar. I have not been practicing as it was not with me, but now I'm here. Let me see if I can a bit of what will be sounding in times to come.
Blow the trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm on my holy mountain.
As I
All
said,
right,
practice.
all
So
right, bro.
one day I'll be able to blow a tune, all right? So it's a
Yada,
good thing I
Yahuwah.
could get sound from it because yes, it is not easy. But with practice, we will become perfect, all right? All right, let's dive into the word. We are here for one purpose, and we are here to deny ourselves and to seek the Most High in all things, obeying the Most High in all things, bringing ourselves under zero, that we may be in the kingdom of the Most
Indeed.
High according to His will. Who was the Messiah sent for? And through scriptures, we will have a better idea of who is required of us to go with Him. Because not because you're called, that means you are bound to be chosen. There will be requirement. And we'll be doing some reading today, a lot of reading. And we'll start in John chapter 1, verse 31. And Brother B, if you could bring it up for me, please. John chapter 1, verse 31.
Oh, Shamal is here. Shamal, you want to read, please?
I'm not in a good place, but I can try. Let me read. Find out read. Let me try.
Okay, let me just read for the time being. John 1:31, and I knew him not, but that he should be made manifest to Israel. Therefore am I come baptizing with water.
So you see, let me change my version here. I'm on the NIV. Okay, so you see, he came baptizing with water that he might be revealed to Israel. He might be so Israel is the one who he will be revealed to. And for that reason, today we see that so many people are refusing to hear from the Most High. They are rejecting his truth because by now we know that his truth was not for them. It was for Israel. And if you are told that you're Israelites and you are going to be so comfortable in knowing who you are without acting the way you should act, it will make no sense because it is simply saying you also will be left behind. Yes, you were sent for us. But how many of us is behind? We are still holding on to this wicked world. Whatever the world says, that is what we are doing and refuse to turn away from this wicked world and to hold on to him, which was sent for us. So very important for us to know who we are and to know who the Messiah was sent for. Let's go down some more, Brother B. John 2, verse 23. 2:23.
Now, when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover, in the feast day, many believed in his name when they saw the miracles which he did.
24.
But Yahusha did not commit himself unto them because he knew all men.
25.
And needed not that any should testify of man, for he knew what was in man.
So you see, today we are taking part in this festival. It is a wonderful feeling because it's just the same. So when we say we want to live like he lived, walk like he walked, talk like he talked, when we go in scripture and see that, yes, he did take part in the feast days, we should feel very happy to know that, yes, this is a start. This could be a start for us to say we are following his footsteps, because that is the only way we will be able to make it in the kingdom. We have to be following his footsteps. I oftentimes try to explain to us that whenever time we let us focus on the Messiah and see what he did, how he deal with the situation, and we should deal with the situation in the very same manner. So we might end up being in the kingdom, because that is where we want to be. That is where we are desiring to be. So we have to pay attention to the way how the Messiah lived. So we also can end up just the very same place where his Father sent him to bring us. Because the time will come when death will be put under subjection, which is our last enemy. And the Messiah will take us back to his Father, because he was sent for us. So when he do all those things, when this world is doing all these things, the time will come when everything will be under subjection. And at that time, the Messiah will take us back to his Father, including himself. And we know that that will be a wonderful time. So while we are living in this world, let's not pay any attention on what they are doing to us. Let's not worry. Let's not fret. When they try to harm us, because that is the whole intention. When they mess with us, we should likewise look up to the Most High and call on him, because he will give them trouble. For all the trouble they cause us, he will give them back trouble and give us relief. So let's not be tricked. Let's not fight back with that which they are fighting with. Because if that which they are fighting with is harmful, and if we are going to fight back, that means the things that we are using is also harmful. So let's leave them alone, let them fight while we go to our Father in prayer and worship. So in the end, we will realize what it meant when he says he will give them trouble for all the troubles that they troubled us. And he will give us relief. All right, let's go to John 3, verse 5 to 8.
Yahusha answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Alua.
36.
That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
Hold on there. So what we are doing here this morning, we are just walking through a valley that will take us in the wilderness, and from the wilderness in the kingdom of the Most High. So we're just walking through all the requirements that we need to go through. So very, very, I say, and be of water and of the Spirit, he cannot be the kingdom of Alua. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. So when our mom gave birth to us, we are just flesh. So as long as we are living in this world, just living just the way we were born, we are of the flesh. So when we decide in our mind that the flesh is not doing much for us, because our life is just now like a pool, just keep on turning around. So when we understand that we must be born again, we have to understand that there must be something significant about being born again, because since you were already born from your mother's womb, what does it mean to born again? Then of course we go into scripture and we will understand more that we have to be born of the Spirit. So when we go and get baptized, that is us dying to this flesh. We die to the born. That we're going to rise up back in newness of life. And now we are living in the Spirit. So that at that point, we now become babies, spiritual babies, to learn spiritual things. Because everything before was of the flesh, was of the born from your mama. So now you get baptized, dying to the flesh, rise up in newness. You are now walking spiritually. And the truth is, as long as you allow the Holy Spirit, live right on your way on to the kingdom of the Most High. If you let go, you will be in serious trouble. So let's just be mindful that this world is of the flesh. And if we continue to hold on to this world, it is simply saying we are holding on to the flesh. And the flesh is also what is given to us from this wicked world system. Let us jump over in the spiritual realm. Spiritual realm. Give over our life, everything to, because we, by ourselves, we cannot handle it. There is nothing good that is within this flesh. Everything is corrupt. Everything is messy. Everything is dirty, nasty. Who want to be living a nasty life? And the only way to not live a nasty life is to give up on this flesh, deny ourselves fully from this flesh, and allow the Holy Spirit to lead us into all righteousness. That is the only sense we try to jump over, denying ourselves, saying we are going to the kingdom of the Most High, because it just does not work like that. As a matter of fact, it cannot work like that. We have to come back, deny ourselves first, deny every single thing of the flesh. And at that time, the Holy Spirit will say, okay, you're ready? Let's go. And he will lead us into all righteousness. That is it. That's what it takes to go on your way. So it doesn't matter how long you're in truth. It doesn't matter how long you're walking. Even if you're saying you're a Christian, it doesn't matter how long. You have to tear off Christianity. And if you are saying you are a believer or you know truth and you did not deny yourself, you also will have to tear off that you believe and come back to deny yourself, because that is the only time you will understand what is true, what is being a believer, because it is not you. You cannot do it. It will have to be done by the Holy Spirit. So very important for us, before we go further, to deny ourselves. The ones who did not, let's think about it right now, that in order for us to even start to go on our way to the wilderness, then to the kingdom, we have to deny ourselves. So if any one of us, like I said earlier, did not understand that, I was not doing that, it is a good time to stop and question yourself. How do I do that? Until I deny myself. Yes, it is a fact. And in scripture, we will realize more as we go down. We have to deny ourselves, because we were born in this world and we take the shape of this world. Whatever shape this world is, that is the shape we have. So we have to wean away from this world so we can shape spiritually, so we can be on our way to the wilderness, to be of the Most High, because we have to be holy to be in the kingdom. Our Father is holy, so we cannot be unholy and go in the kingdom which is holy. So definitely we have to fully deny ourselves from all things. Okay, Brother B, let's go down some of the John 3:16.
For Allah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
Hold on there. This is a scripture where many of us misunderstand. We read this verse and it sounds good and we get so complacent. We do nothing else. We just believe on that verse. But we will understand that it takes more than this verse to be in the kingdom. Verse 17.
For Allah sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He
Okay,
that
hold on there.
believeth on...
So see, hold on, Brother B.
Yeah.
So we see, but that the world through him might be saved. So that again going to show us that it is not everybody, because it in verse 17 here is saying, but that the world through him might be saved. So if we are not going through the Messiah, we will not be saved. For the ones who are saying, hey, I'm saved. No, you're not saved as yet. You have to be the one will take us to the path that we might be saved. 18.
He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Allah.
All right. So again, we say, he that believeth on him is not condemned. So let's not even say, well, you know what? I believe on him, so therefore I will not be condemned. It is deeper than deep, because believe, if you believe, there is something, action that to take place to show that we believe. So it is not just that you believe. Look, man, spiritually, there's not one thing that works. It always has to be hand in hand. Two, believe and act. Believe and act. Where's your faith? Your faith is no action. So it is not just to believe on him. You might not be condemned. You can say you believe, but you're still acting in a corrupted way.
Bro, can I?
All right?
Can I?
It's condemned. The ones who... Go ahead.
Yeah, can I just add a little thing here to kind of add to what you're saying, to kind of give more clarity in what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to verse the John 3:16 thingy, if we go to verse 16, it says that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. The operative phrase here is believeth in him. Now, what does it mean to believe in him? That is the question. There are several things to look at in John 3, but even look at this. What does it mean to believe in him? Because a lot of people believe that you just have to confess and you just have to believe in your mind. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's not as simple as that. Okay? In verse 18, it says, he that believeth on him is not condemned. But he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Allah. So it's important to understand what it means by believe. And for that, you go to Romans 10:12-21. This is something that I have prepared for the Sabbath. This is something I have prepared 10:12-21, but it seems like I'll have to just interject it now. For there's no difference between the Yahudim and the Greek, for the same master over all is rich unto all that call upon him. For whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. Same thing here like John 3:16, whoever believeth in him. This says whoever calleth upon him. But the Apostle Shaul is going to tell us and explain to us what it means to call upon him and what it means to actually believe. And we're going to see that it's actually more than what they have presented to us. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? So to call on him, we have to first believe, but we're going to see what it means to believe. And how shall they believe in him whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? So you must have someone. No, let me just not say that as yet. And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the good news of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. So they first have to have a preacher that is sent, number one, who's going to preach. And then they have to hear that preacher who is sent. And when they hear, they have to believe in what they have heard. That is the process. But we also, when we hear now, we also have to obey. So it's a whole long process of believing. Believing is not just in your mind. We also now have to obey what we have heard. Romans 10:16, but they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah said, Master, who hath believed, or Yahuwah, who hath believed our report? So then, faith or belief cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word. Hearing by the word means you hear the word and you are spurred to do what? To obey. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily their words went into all the earth, and their words unto the end of the world. Okay? So this went on and told us about Israel, who Israel heard, but Israel did not obey. And because Israel did not obey, there will only be a remnant of Israel. So it proves that whosoever believeth on him is not just believing in your mind, it is hearing from someone who is sent and acting on what you have obeyed, you have heard, so that you are in obedience. So belief comes with obedience. All right, that's what I had to say.
Indeed. Is there anyone else have anything? All right. If not, Brother B, let's go down to John 3:25 to 30.
John
3:25 to 30.
Mm-hmm. Then there arose a question between some of Yahochanan's disciples and the Jews about purifying. And they came unto John, let us use that. And they came unto John and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was with thee beyond Jordan, to whom thou bearest witness, behold, the same baptizeth, and all men come to him. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven. Continue?
Yes, 30.
Ye yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Messiah, but that I am sent before him. He that hath the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoiceth greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease.
So the point I want to bring out to us was mainly verse 30, but just to get a better understanding, we came from verse 25. We also have to be the very same increase, where we increase. Well, he will increase while we decrease. All right. So let's give an analogy here. Brother Brian is here with us, and he's very busy doing all these things to help us to understand more. And there's a line, a very long line in Falmouth, where Brother Brian needs to buy a software, and Brother Samuel is also there. So what Brother Samuel would do and hold that line for Brother Brian. So even if it takes him 2 hours to stand in that line, that is what he will do. So when it is his time, then he will excuse himself and let Brother Brian go in and get that software which he needs. So that is him decreasing himself. So Brother Brian can be increased to get through, to get that which is needed, so we can all go on. Because he's the one that has the vision to push him up. Let us stay down, stay below. At no point try to be where he is, because his thing is his thing. So we have to, in all things, bring ourselves low, decrease in everything. And that is what happened here. He decreased, so the Messiah will be increased and show up in all things, because he's the one who will and who is able to bring us back to his Father. All right? So let's not be too much like we should be all in all those things. Let's just seek to be zero. Bring ourselves down to zero. John 6, verse 44. Brother Samuel?
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah, Brother Wayne.
Yeah, let's do John 6:44.
All right. John chapter 6, verse 44. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
You're breaking up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear it first. Go again. No man?
No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
All right, so that is pretty close to what we are seeing today when we go on the street and we try to minister to people, and we are experience the whole heap of disregard, the whole heap of not wanting to hear what is true. And it is very clear, no man can come to me except the Father hath sent me draw him. So only who the Most High have chosen, only who he actually enable will be able to understand its truth. He made everyone, yes, but he made them for his own purpose. Some for honor and some for dishonor. So we also upset. The reason why many of them are not coming to the truth is because the Father did not enable them to hear that which is true. Very, very important for us to understand, because we see this so many times. And sometimes we feel so upset. But we have to be mindful and remember that many are called and chosen are few. So now we're just walking through this path that will take us. And remember that in wilderness, there is not where we are going to stay forever. It is a place that will perfect us. It will be like a more powerful camp, much harder than now. So if we cannot make it through this wicked world, it is simply saying we could not make it in the wilderness, and that is why we would not be in the wilderness. So that is why we have to make sure that we do all what it takes in this world. And there is no other way to do it than to deny ourselves. When we know how much this world is wicked and corrupt, we should want to have nothing at all to do with this world. The truth is, this world is designed this way for a purpose, and it is well designed. Many of who are in this world right now, who are saying that they are victorious by this world. They plan for many, many years. They put their school forward. They put their jobs. It was for a reason. It is not because they love us. They have their plan. Nothing is new. When you see about the schools, you get your master's, bachelor's, doctorate, it is for a reason. And now we are seeing the whole thing is playing out. The reason is coming out right now. It takes a reason for many things have been done so many years ago. It is here. Because when we look and see what is going on in this world, the ones who believe that they are victorious in this world, they are the ones who are going to receive the poison, all because of what they call victory. Many of them doctors, lawyers, nurses, all of them, they look forward to the world for their livelihood. Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. But what happened is they allow this world to trick them, to give them their masters, give them their bachelors, and all those names, all those titles, because the world system, the wicked one of this world system, plan it that way that the time will come when all of those who happily
Brother Wayne,
receive that same title to receive their poison. That is exactly what is going on.
Brother Wayne.
Yes.
So sorry, I don't mean to cut you, right? I don't mean to interject that way. I'm teaching a brother here quickly, so I just want to quickly excuse myself for a few minutes and I'll come back.
Okay, that's all right.
All right, okay, sure. All right, thanks. All right.
Okay. Yes, so everything was designed this way. So we were surprised of all these things that is taking place in this world. But the time is here now where we should practice not being surprised anymore, because everything was done for a purpose. The Most High allowed these things to happen. So when these things happen, we should remember who he sent his son for. We have to remember that. And as long as we remember that, we are in the trap that is set for us, because it is coming down to a time when we will see that everything was planned for this purpose. That is it, nothing else. They did not care about us any at all. It is for their own good, their own purpose. So let us turn our back on this world. What we are seeing taking place today, many of us did not know that there are so many things we could do, or the wicked world show us that we can do them or we can live without them. Many of us think that we could not miss our job for a week. We have to go to work. We see the world system make it be where they say, hey, you can't work, go home. And we just do it. They speak, we act. We see the world system say, hey, no more basketball for the month. It happened. But before now, without watching a basketball game. So when we see all these things, we have to see and understand that the Most High allowed these things to teach us a lesson. We learn something from this. So we should not be upset. We should be thanking the Most High in all things, not some things, but in all things. So let's continue to move towards the wilderness, knowing that the wilderness is not for eagle. We have to be ready and more spiritual vigilant to be victorious over everything that this world is putting in our way. The time will come when we will use all those stumbling blocks to be stepping stones, stepping on them, going our way, stepping, going all the way to the wilderness. And from there again, if we are victorious, we might be in the kingdom of the Most High. Let's go. Let's do John 6, verse 47. We'll be in John for a little bit.
Mute. I was on mute, sorry.
Yeah, John 6:47.
All right, John 6:47. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. Go ahead.
Yeah, continue. Sorry, continue.
I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, and that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world.
Okay, you can stop there. So we see that the bread that many of us depend on for livelihood is the physical bread. But we see the real bread that we should be depending on is the Messiah, the one from heaven, not the one from here where we could bake and fry and use to make dumpling and all those things. We should be depending on the Son. Because remember now, if he is our dependent, the scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, and all these things shall be added unto you. Because I'm not going to say, don't eat bread or don't eat bread, but our aim should be the Messiah. The physical bread is what will come after. So let's just be mindful that we must seek to keep every single thing, our life, every time our heartbeat, that should be us seeking the Most High. And as long as our heartbeat, that means we are alive. So let's not worry about the physical bread. Let's focus on the Messiah and all that He sent to us, that the time will come when we will be in line with Him, holding on, going towards His Father, because that is what we are pushing for nowadays. That is what we are aiming for. We no longer believe in this world. Once we were, but now no longer believing in this wicked, corrupt world. This world is wicked in a way where I cannot find a worse word for it. But we cannot want to even be in this world anymore. When I understand how wicked this world is, I have to want to move away from this world. And you know what? I have to say it is working. It is working, because sometimes when I heard some things, to me it sounds strange. I said, I don't remember about all those things. And I realized it away from this world. And if I can do it, we can all do it. Because I was all up in the world, but I get to hate this world so much. We must start hating this world before we can love that which the Most High prepared for us. We cannot be loving here and there at the same time. We must first hate this world, and when we do that, it is simply saying that we are preparing for the city which the Most High have made for us. And if we walk all the days of our life in this world, it is a clear sign that we are going towards the city that the Most High made for us. No man could make that. A city that was built not with man's hand. So let's just use these times not to be all in joy with this world. Because if this world today, people are having fun, today they're having all these nice things going on, we should not feel the same way. Because if we have those same experience, it is simply saying we are a part of them. So we have to be so different from this world that their joy should upset us. Their joy should be stink in our nostril. That is when we will know that we are on our way to the wilderness. That is where I want to be. I don't know how many else of us here want to be is. If you want to be in the wilderness, you cannot want to be of this world in any way. The world is supposed to hate you with a passion. Your friends who are in the world supposed to hate you. Your families who are in this world supposed to hate you. Anyone who was in your circle before you find truth and before you walk away from this world, they should either hate you or come align with you in believing that which is true. But if they still love you, if they're still happy about you, we must check ourselves, because it is going to only be that they are coming over or you're still in the world. Let's shake off this world, because it will destroy us and laugh at us, because we know that everything in this world is just meaningless. And we're going to go down in Hebrews 11 and to show us why we cannot want to be like this world. We definitely cannot accept this world when we understand what it takes to be in the kingdom. We are supposed to be so fearful and open and praying that He give us enough time to pull ourselves away from this world. Even if it is an hour leave, we should be so fearful, praying, crying out to the Most High, please help me get away from this world, even in this last hour, because this world will be judged. We also will be judged, but our prayer should be, Father, judge us in your righteousness, and because this world is going down. I don't know how many of us believe that it will be a short time, but I'm seeing things more and more and more. I saw something last week in a vision, just destruction and judgment. I see fire, and I know it is coming close, because this wasn't the first time. The first time was a dream, but this time last week, I saw it very clear. No dream. I see fire. I notice it is so close, very, very near. When we know it is so near, and we look back from how far in this world we were, what else do we want in this world? What else can this world give us? Whatever it is that we are seeking for, it just never happened. It is like a trick. People are still seeking and searching. It is just not happening. This world is going to just con you the whole time. It's a scam. And you are falling for it. How many times people got scammed? And you would believe that they would learn. They go again and get scammed again. And they still go and get scammed. That is how many people are. The world scam them to be scammed. And today, they're still going back to the world, not realizing that all these years, all the world did was to scam you. Guess what? Let's not allow this world to scam you anymore. What you can do is walk away from this world. When you walk away from this world will have nothing on you. If you are in this world, they have everything on you. And that is what it means. No wonder they are trying their very best to get everyone poisoned. Because if you go and accept their poison, then they will know that, yes, I got you. You now have my GPS. You can no longer go away from me. I will control you. I can press a button, there you go. So if we refuse the world, they cannot track you anymore. They have no GPS on you. Walk away, look back, because if the house, the car, the money, the job, the career, the title, everything is going to be doomed. It is meaningless only for a short time. Let's not fall for any more tricks of this world. Let's go and see what so many men did, because they did not take this world for their home. And if we believe that they did not do that and they are victorious, let us do likewise. And for this one, let's go through the whole Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 to the end, just to show us exactly what happened. So we also can follow their footsteps, that we can be in the kingdom. When we hear our name called, or if, let me not be presumptuous, if we hear our name called, we will be so happy and joyful. So Hebrews 11 verse 1, going down to the end. And at some point, I'll just interject.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Allah, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith, Abel offered unto Allah a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Allah testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead, yet speaketh. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Allah had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased Allah. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Allah must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith, Noah, being warned of Allah of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
Hold on there. So just as in the days of Noah, we all know the story. It was warning those folks, and they just did not listen. They didn't care. All right? What we are seeing today, I'm speaking to you guys, or I'm speaking to us, not by myself, not of my own. What I'm saying is to fully deny yourself. What Noah was saying, it's going to rain. I'm saying to you, judgment is on its way coming. We have to fully deny ourselves. That is the only way we will escape. The only way, because it is coming. Those people, it took them many years, but it happened. It happened. Let's not sit down, and when I'm speaking, I speak to myself. Let's not sit down and say it might be 10 years from now or 20 years from now. Let's just do it. Because when we do it, it will grow in us. It will be our lifestyle. A person who live a sinful life until they're old, even when they're on their dying bed, all they do is sinful things. That is what they used to. That is what they are molded to. That is their lifestyle. So, if we, at this point, deny ourselves from the world, deny ourselves from every single thing of this world, what will happen? We will grow up in that. It will be our shape. Our lifestyle will be denying self. So even if we get old, what we will be doing is denying ourselves. It will not be difficult, as the people who live a sinful life, being very old, on their dying bed, and being told, hey, sir, you must seek the Most High. They curse, because that's what they used to. They curse. So we deny ourselves when we get older, and someone comes to us and say, hey, seek the Most High. Boom, it will happen, because self is no longer a part of us. Let's not, whatever I say, A matter of fact, for the ones who hear me speak several times, every single time I have a separate topic, all right? However, everything sounds the same or pretty close. Guess what? The truth is, everything is just in line. Everything is just matching up. Even if different words have been used, everything is saying the same thing. We have to deny ourselves because the time is coming when judgment is going to just burst right through. Verse 8, Brother B.
By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Allah. This is very important here, by the way.
Yes, you see?
Looking for a city. Yeah.
Yeah, which foundation builder and maker is Allah. So the same thing I was saying earlier. If we turn our back on this world and we are still living, automatically it is saying we are expecting, we are looking forward to the city which the Most High had made for us. And if we look on the other side, there is no way we will be in that city if we take this world today as our city. So just for us to get a better understanding of what it means for us to deny ourselves from this world, not looking to this world for anything at all, nothing. The truth is, the Most High can use the world to give you whatever you need, but you don't look to the world for it. The Most High is so awesome. He just do whatever pleases him. Go ahead, Brother B.
Yeah, may I interject something? And the problem with this world, why so many people are going a whoring after this vax, is that people are not looking to a city whose builder and maker is Allah. They are looking to a city that is built and made by man.
Yeah.
So they are going after what man presents in order to live in man's city, in man's kingdom, and not seeking to do what the Most High says is required to live in his kingdom. And that requirement is to not take this thing, this mark. Do not pollute yourselves with this mind control, transhuman, DNA altering poison. So it's very important that we set our affection on things above and not on the things of this world. A very important point here. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Continue on verse 11.
Through faith also, Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the sea shore, innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Hold on, Brother B.
Very important there, brother.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes. So what we're seeing here and what we have been talking about over the years, well, not years, look, we cannot expect nothing when we are living for the Most High. Let's not expect a gift now. Let's do it, because what we should be doing is to make it our lifestyle. When we look and we understand what the Most High have done, he sent his own son to die so we might live. that is the best, you know. How many of us here would give up their last child or the only child to die for someone? I mean, I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just saying, we cannot expect nothing. The ones who are saying that they are living a righteous life with the expectation of a gift, they are likely to fail. We cannot expect nothing because we saw what happened to those people with faith. They all died. And guess what? They died in faith. We are supposed to be doing the same thing. My prayer is asking the Most High to let me die in righteousness. I don't find myself praying for material things. My prayer is, Father, let me die in your righteousness. We see these all died in faith, and they did not receive that which was promised. But having seen them afar off, let us see the kingdom from now. Let us see the city, even though we're not there, but by faith, let us see it. Let's expect it. So our faith can be activated, man. Let's get our faith activated so we can see that city and work towards it, not expecting nothing from this world because the city is over there, so we can be focusing here. So let's just embrace everything that's faith and move forward. Because we see that also they confess that they are strangers and pilgrim on earth. They are foreigners. We likewise should not be here saying that, hey, I'm a Jamaican man, or hey, I'm American, or English, or a Mexican, or wherever, whatever. We cannot see those. We must see ourselves as strangers because there is a place on earth called Jamaica, a place on earth called America, a place on earth called England, and I can go on. We cannot see ourselves as being owned by these places. We must see ourselves as strangers. We are passing through. If Brother Samuel comes to Jamaica, he will not do the things he normally do in Africa because he is a stranger in Jamaica. He would even feel a bit different. He would not feel so relieved to do the same things he do or he did in Africa. The same very thing we as believers are supposed to be doing. We must feel like strangers. When we see all these things word, we should not want to partake of them and feel happy about them and feel all joy. No, we are just passing through. We can stop now. No time for you right now. I'm a stranger. That's your thing. That's not me. I'm not from here. We have to have that attitude towards this world because it will be condemned. And if we don't do that, it is simply saying we also will be condemned with this world. Let's focus on the city that our Father made for us. 14.
For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country.
Continue.
And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is, an heavenly. Wherefore, Alua is not ashamed to be called their Alua, for he hath prepared for them a city.
Hold on, Brother B. So again, it is so clear. I mean, for everyone who is seeing the screen, or you cannot see the screen, right? But look, we cannot accept this place for our home. The Most High have made a better country. But now they desire a better country that, I mean, the Most High made that city for them. Wherefore, right. Alua is not ashamed to be called Alua, for he had prepared for them a city. Can you imagine the Most High the all-powerful Yahweh or Allah prepare a city for us. Look at how wretched we were. So let's just use this line and see how loving the Most High is, and just be ashamed of our past. When we think about those wickedness, it should sit in our stomach, because now we see how loving the Most High is. He's saying, man, he won't be ashamed to be called Allah, for he had prepared for them, for who? Us who are in righteousness, a city. So let's take away ourselves from this wicked world, because a city has been prepared for us. Continue, Brother B.
By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that Allah was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worshipped, leaning upon the top of his staff. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel and gave commandment concerning his bones. By faith, Masha, or Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because he saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Allah than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Messiah greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith he passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians, assaying to do, were drowned. By faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. By faith the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not. By faith the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not when she had received the spies with peace. And what more shall I say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gibeon, and Barak, and of Samson, and of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, turned to flight the armies of the aliens. Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection.
Yep.
They were willing to be tortured.
Yep.
All right.
Hold on, Brother B.
Yeah.
So they were willing to be tortured, right?
Yeah.
So when we look on what is going on today, one of the reasons we see so many people going after the vax, one, they love their life to the death. They want to go back to their so-called normal.
Yes.
And when we look and see here, women received their dead raised to life, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, might obtain a better resurrection. Can you imagine?
Yep.
You see, they don't understand that if they reject this box, living a righteous life to the Most High, what will happen in the end is just that they will live. The Most High is the giver of life. And if He gave us life already, He can give us life again because He is who He is. 36.
And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned. Yeah.
So for us today, we cannot be worried about what people will say to us or about us. Many will say all manner of evil, but even the Messiah, they say he was demon possessed. You know, so when they come and they approach us in a manner which we think is unlikely, let us focus on the Messiah and see how he lived and what he did, how he would deal with the situation, and just do the same thing that he would do. Let's not worry and quarrel and be upset. Just brush your feet off and keep moving, because these things will happen, because it is going to happen in order for us to seek the Most High more, to gain more strength. Continue.
They were stoned. They were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented.
Hold on there. So I'm sure that none of these things happen to any of us today. Not one. So it is safe to say, let's not think that we are ready when we're not ready. What we are supposed to be doing is pushing towards being ready. And if we do that, what we will find that our whole life is seeking to be righteous. If we ever think that we are ready, that is the very same day we will fail. But our whole life should be seeking and obeying the Most High in all things for our lives, for the rest of our lives. Remember now that we are foreigners in this place. So we should not be living like how they are living. Our lifestyle should be seeking the Most High in all things, obeying the Most High, His laws, statutes, everything should be spiritually. That's what will separate us from the world. You see, they go about in goat skin, being afflicted and tormented. We today, we have almost everything that we think we want. But let's take a page from these books and use them as an example and also a guideline. 38.
And let me just say something. All right, the reason you keep saying that we should deny self is because, once again, this is where the world of the believer is headed. Right now, we are on vacation. Enjoy life as it is now. And when I say enjoy it, I mean relish it and keep giving thanks. Because what is to come for a true believer is going to be a rough time that is coming. I know most of us don't even think about it. And we know it's coming, that they're going to make this vax mandatory. Now, when they make it mandatory, it means that all the normal life that we used to live is going to be thrown down. We won't be able to work the normal work. You won't be able to travel. They're going to be having checkpoints, and people are going to be checked if they have this passport. You won't be able to go into certain buildings. Then, after a while, there's going to come persecution. There's going to be tolerance when they're going to use the law to try to get you. And then what comes next after tolerance? When man gets power, and man now has the power to force you to do what he wants to do, in the time of the wicked, in the time of the end, wickedness is going to increase.
Mhm.
So Brother Wayne telling us every day, we deny, so we don't have no idea why he keeps telling us that. It's the Holy Spirit speaking, telling you, get prepared, get prepared. We have to bring ourselves down to zero so that when things come, we are able to tolerate it. If we do not bring ourselves down to zero, when the pressure piles on, we might have a temptation to give in to the pressure. These people were stoned. They were sawn asunder. They were willing to, instead of giving up, they were willing for people to saw them alive. Were tempted, were slain with the sword, they were killed. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins. All right, if you cannot buy and sell, that means that your life is going to be brought down to zero. Are you willing to be like that man on the road who's walking around, hardly having any clothes on? That's why you have to deny yourself down to zero. Being destitute, and destitute is a very powerful name. Destitute means having nothing.
Nothing.
Afflicted, tormented. This is what we have to prepare ourselves. This is why Brother Wayne is telling us to deny self. So let me just go on to verse 38. Of whom the world was not worthy. And by the way, this is the reason for the unleavened bread at this time. The unleavened bread is the denying of self. All right? Verse 38, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and the caves of the earth.
Hold up.
Yep.
Hold up. So again, so many of us, we feel so relaxed in a big home, feel so relaxed, nice cars, everything of this world, whatever it is we receive from this world, we are just loving it. We have to also reach to a point in our lives where whatever we receive from in this world, we cannot make it priority, because the time is coming when all those things will have to go. And we see where these men make their places, in desert, mountain. Are we willing to walk away, leave these houses to go in desert and mountain? And in dens? Are we willing? Let's honestly ask our question and answer ourselves. Are we willing to give up everything that we receive in this world to go in the mountains if needed, in the desert, in dens, caves? Are we willing? Because the truth is, I am willing. I am willing. That is why we have to be spiritual focused. We have to know and understand, because the time will come when he will be giving us direction. And if we don't know his voice, we will be questioning, is he speaking, or is he speaking, or is he speaking? We have to know his voice. That is why we are supposed to be now in training in the spirit, so we can get acquainted to his voice, to know when to differentiate his voice and the voice of the world. Are you willing to be in the mountain? Are you willing to give up on everything of this world for the sake of righteousness? 39.
All right. 39. And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise.
Again.
And Alua.
Hold on, Brother B.
Yeah.
This part came around a second time, and these all, having obtained a good report through faith, they did not receive the promise. And this last verse here, it is so sweet to us if we understand it. And I'm going to explain why I said it is so sweet if we understand it. Verse 40, Brother B.
Alua, having provided some better thing for us, that they, without us, should not be made perfect.
All right, so what I'm seeing here, if we look at verse 39, in fact, go to 38, Brother B. Let me look at something on 38. let me minimize this screen here. Okay. All right, 38, to whom the world was not worthy, they wandered in desert and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. And these all have obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. The Father says, Alua having provided some better things for us, that they without us should not be made perfect. So all of those who by faith did all those things, not receiving nothing. So we here today, the Most High is waiting on us patiently. So he could do one big thing with everybody together. So that is why we are supposed to be getting ready, because it's going to happen soon. Those men who have done those great things by faith, they are waiting. You see, without us should not be made perfect. So it is with us. When everything is done, we are together, will be a part of it. That is the intention of the Most High. So let's not use the patience of the Most High for granted. He is waiting for us. If he's saying he's waiting, let's not stay in this world keep on saying, Most High, I soon come. Most High, I will be there. Let's drop everything now and run. Run for your lives. This world cannot give us life. It will give us darkness, because the world knows that the time is coming also when it will be cast in that lake of fire. It will be no more. So we cannot want to be of this world anymore. After today, I was expecting before now, just in case someone was still joking around. After now, you cannot be joking around. You have to give up on this world, because judgment is coming and it is very close. Very, very close. All right, Brother B, let's go over, I'm almost there. Let's go to Romans chapter 11, verse 1, and I might go to 8. And here again, we just walk through the path that will help us to be in the wilderness. So from beginning to end is just a stroll going through to the kingdom. So these we may see some of the things that we need to change or to add so we can be there. From verse 1 to 1:8.
I say then, hath Alua cast away his people? Yahuwah forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Alua hath not cast away his people which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to Alua against Israel, saying, Yahuwah, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
Hold on there, Brother B.
But
hold on there. So again, what I'm showing up here is how special we are to the Most High. He's the one who makes us special, and how much he loves us. Because even though Elias was saying, go back there, Brother B, was saying, they make intercession to Alua against Israel, saying, but the bottom line is the Most High put his people aside, and it doesn't matter what, no one can pluck his people from his hand. He have them locked. That is how loving he is to us. Even though we were so wretched, we were so wicked, corrupt, sinful, dirty, but he knows what to do to bring us to perfection if we allow him. That is why, again, we cannot be in this world and be cleansed. We have to leave it and go to where he will meet us and clean us up and put us on our way, because he made us for his own purpose, and his purpose, his will be done. Well, Brother B.
But what said the answer of Alua unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so then, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of favor or grace as they have it. And if by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, I don't like to just keep repeating this word. And if by favor, then it is of no more of works. Otherwise, favor is no more favor. But if it be of works, then is it no more favor. Otherwise, work is no more work.
So we see here, it is just a favor. It is not because we have done or said anything right nor good, because nothing in us is good. But it's just a favor of the Most High He's taking us through. That's it. Just his favor. He has favors on us. So when we know that, how are we going to live our life? Because we cannot live in this world, be of this world, and be granted his favor. So all of these are pointing to the fact that we have to deny ourselves even from this world, because everything of the flesh was given to us from the world. So we can use one stone and kill many birds. Because if we deny ourselves, that is us denying this big old wide wicked world. Just one stone killed all those birds. So let's just know that we can do it. We can make it. It starts on the inside. We must make up in our heart that we are going to obey the Most High in all things. We no longer are slaves of this world, but we are sons and daughters of the Most High. We are royal priesthood, a peculiar people. Let's not live in like commoners. The Most High called us. He set us apart. So why should we want to go back to be in bondage again? No, he called us, come from bondage. Stop being a slave for this world. Come and be my sons and daughters. And yet still many of us are still peeping back over in the world to see what they left over there. Whatever was there, leave it there. Don't bring them with you. Whatever it is not good. I don't care what it is not good. It only look good, but it is not good. Let's keep on following the Messiah, and he will take us right to his Father. Continue.
What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, Alua hath given them the spirit of slumber, yes, no, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
Unto this day. So we see, according as it is written, Alua hath given them a spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear. That is why, again, many people, they just will not understand. The Most High One will have to enable them to understand. So let's just go ahead and sow our seed and let the Most High do the increase. Let's not just say, okay, I will not sow any seed because the Most High did not enable them, because we would not know who he enable or disable. So let's still go ahead and sow that seed that he may reap or do the increase. All right, so let's still do our part. Sow a good seed, watch it grow. Don't think that you can increase nothing, because we cannot increase nothing. Let's do our part by sowing the seed. Almost there. Let's go down to 11 verse 11 to 24, Brother B. 11:24. Say Romans.
11.
Romans 11. Yeah.
Verse what?
Romans 11, verse 11 to 24. Romans 11, verse 11 to 24.
I say then, had they stumbled that they should fall? Allah forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles for to provoke them to jealousy.
So we see here, it said, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall?
Let me tell you something.
Allah forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles to provoke them to jealousy. So you see, when his chosen people misbehave and don't do what they're supposed to do, the Gentiles, will get all those blessings just to provoke them to jealousy. Just like how we here today with our earthly father and mother, let's say, again, Brother B have his child or his children, and because they misbehave, Brother B would go buy toys and all those things, candy, and he would give the candies to the neighbors. And of course, his own children would say, man, and they would feel so bad. They would feel so jealous because their own father buy candies and toys and give to the neighbors. So what might happen in the end, they would turn back and repent, turn away from their wicked ways and do that which is right. So the time will come when your father will bring those goodies.
Don't turn up too much.
To them, his own children. So let's not believe that because we are called Israelites, we are his chosen, we are going to live any way we like. We're going to live as we like and expect nothing, expect to be fed, expect blessing from the Most High. He will turn around and give it to the neighbor so you can feel jealous. And it is the intention to get us back to repent so he can give us that which he wants to give us. Go ahead, Brother B.
Now, verse 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead? For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree wert graft in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith, be not high-minded, but fear.
Hold on here, Brother B. Let's look back at verse 18 here. Because just as I said, verse 18, as I said earlier, not because we are called the Israelites, the Most High have chosen you, it means that we are going to go off and live as we like. It doesn't work like that. And the very same way, for the strangers, if the strangers comes and do the will of the Most High, just as Brother Brian buy the candy and the toys for the neighbor's children because they obeyed Mr. Brian and he gave them toys and candies. The very same thing with us. Yes, the Most High chose us, but we disobey. He will give all those goodies to the strangers. However, verse 18 here is saying, the strangers must not boast against the branches. So the neighbor's children should not boast against Brian's real children, because the bottom line is those are his original children. So the stranger must not boast against Israelite. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root the tree, but the root thee. So let's say a stranger comes to join the body or the family of the Israelite. All right? And the stranger is going to act as if they are actual Israelite. They can't do that because the only reason why they get a chance to come in is because there was already a route. So the strangers themselves could not make it. They could not make the route. They are just given a chance to be in the family because they obey the Most High. And that is what happened when his chosen be jealous because somebody else who is a stranger actually obey their own father. So of course it will bring forth jealousy. And we're going to see what happened down further to verse 24. Where, Brother B?
Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Verse 20. Well, because of...
Hold on there.
Yeah.
Go back to verse 19. Verse 19 here, please.
Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in.
Okay, stop there. Bring it down so I can see it. All right, so the stranger then would say, okay, well, your own disobey and is no longer here, so I will obey you so I can, come in and be a part of this family. So basically right now what we're seeing today, many people who are called is chosen Israelite, they are living the way how they want. And the scripture says you cannot live as you like. You know what? Are some strangers understand the importance of being saved, who understand the importance of being in the kingdom by whatever means. They are willing to obey the Father. They are willing to do the will. They are willing to do what it takes to be in the kingdom. So guess what? If you are in the kingdom, if you are his chosen and you mess up, basically you are making a way for a stranger to come in and take your spot. Because you cannot live as a and be in the kingdom. So the stranger will be grafted in, like just fit in, just put in the family, but not being an Israelite. So it is still a good thing for the non-Israelite to obey the Most High because they also can be saved. And for anyone who is an Israelite not knowing that he or she is an Israelite, don't just turn your back. Because the truth is, even if you are not, and you are willing and able to obey the Most High in all things, to his laws, commandments, you will make it also. So it is a win-win situation. Or you're called Israelite, it still requires us to obey the Most High in all things. Verse 20.
Hold on, let me get this down here. Let me pin this. Coming up. All right. So, give me a second there. All right, verse 20. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. For if Allah spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee.
Hold on, Brother B. So verse 20. Go back to verse 20 for me, please. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and those standest by faith. So, okay, so because of unbelief, they were broken off, taken away from the lot or from the group, just being broken off. And those standest by faith, being not high-minded, but fear, still being fearful. For if Allah spared not the natural branch, take heed lest he also spare not thee. So the original branch is going to be there. The original branch. So the strangers, like I said earlier, you cannot be original. You are just a stranger. But the very good thing about being a stranger, you can make it, and a person who is called an Israelite, if he or she don't do the will of the Most High will not make it. So it is a very important thing to understand the requirement. It is a good look. So we have no reason at all not to want to seek the Most High in all things. We have to, because He is such a loving Most High, and He cannot lie. The Most High is defending His righteousness and holiness. That woman who called on the Messiah, and His disciples were saying, "Let her go," and that woman was so humble. He said, "Look here, man, even to eat the crumbs off your table." And that was showing, yeah, that was Matthew. Go ahead, brother, read for me, please.
You want to go there?
Yeah, read it. Yeah, go there.
Okay. Then Yahusha, Matthew 15:21. Then Yahusha went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, "Have mercy on me, O Master, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil."
Hold on, brother B. And yeah, okay, so we see here a stranger, because it is very clear it's a stranger, came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, "Have mercy on me, O Master, thou son of David." You know who he is. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. Go ahead, brother B. So she is a stranger right there.
But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, "Send her away, for she crieth after us."
All right, so that means she was not one of them, because they said, "Send her away, for she cried after us." Continue.
But he answered and said, "I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of
So
Israel.
we see the Messiah said, "You know what? I was not sent for you. My Father sent me, to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So continue.
Then came she and worshipped him, saying, "Master, help me."
So that right there is showing humbleness. It is showing that she actually he trusts and believes in what he can do and what she's asking him to do. And we are seeing basically she actually go down on her knee. If you should see her, she was humble. 26.
But he answered and said, "It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs."
All right, so that which the Messiah came with for the children of Israel, he cannot give it to strangers. Continue.
And she said, "Truth, Master, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table."
So what we are seeing, she is agreeing with the Messiah. She agreed because she said, "Truth, Master." She's even calling him Master. She respected him. She's so humble. She's agreeing that the dogs ate of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. 28.
Then Yahusha answered and said unto her, "O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt." And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.
So we see here a stranger by faith received from the Messiah. By faith. And she was a stranger. So that is simply saying to us, it is a good look on the strangers. And for the ones who are called Israelites, we have to be extremely careful.
Brother Wayne.
That we are Israelites, and we can sit down and allow a stranger to walk in the kingdom, live righteous, holy life. Out to us that, hey, we cannot live as we like. And the strangers can be so humble and still make it.
Can I interject? Can I say something,
Yes.
Brother Wayne? All right. It's very important. We see here from verse 26. But he answered and said,
Yes.
It is not meet
Yes.
to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. The Messiah actually called the stranger dog. Now, what we see here from verse 26 to 28 is that the stranger has to accept and know that this is not for them. Very important.
Yeah.
The woman accepted and knew. She said, truth, master, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. So the stranger has to know that this is not for them, but through the mercy of Allah, they are able to eat of the crumbs. And remember, they don't eat of the bread. They eat of the crumbs. So those strangers who are not willing to join themselves to Israel and go and do their own thing, and now they have salvation, or neither Jew nor Gentile, and no, you have to come through humility like this woman and know that this is not for you, but you're just willing to hang on, to cling on, so that you can get a piece of the action. And it was because of that understanding that the woman had, she agreed that it was not for her, but she was willing to take even the least of it all, the crumbs. That was why the Messiah said her faith was great. And that is the faith that the Gentiles need to join themselves to Israel and to cling to Israel to enter into the kingdom. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Brother Wayne, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Yeah. Show the Most High is righteous. I mean, that is just the best way to be righteous. There is no other way. He's just so awesome. He is just so real. He's so loving that anyone out there, as long as you do the will of the Most High, you can partake. So it is very important for us today to know that we must.
Yeah, go ahead, Wayne.
Because, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yes. Can you still hear me?
Yes, yes.
Right. So I'm just saying it is very important for us to put our faith in action. We cannot allow that woman who is a stranger to come and get through, while we same one who was saying, send her away because he cried unto us. And then we go fall short by disobeying the Most High. That is so shameful. So let's be mindful of staying in truth and holiness. Go back, Brother B, to, I think you're at 11, verse 22. Sorry, there.
11 verse 20. Yes.
I think you're at 22.
Yeah. All right. Romans 11:22. Let's start from 21. For if Allah spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Allah. On them which fell, severity, but toward thee, goodness. If thou continue in his goodness, otherwise thou also shalt be cut off.
So, hold on there, Brother B. So we see, even though if is two letters, it is very important, right? There, if, only if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise, or else, thou also shall be cut off. Very important there. 23.
And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. For Allah is able to graft them in again.
Okay, so for the ones who disobey and do, they will live as they like. If the time comes when they turn away from their wicked ways, get back in line, obey the Most High in all things, guess what? They will be grafted in again. The very fact that they are original, all they need to do is to wash themselves up, turn away from their nasty ways, leave this wicked world alone, see yourself as nothing, bring yourself down to zero, be willing to wear sheepskin, be in mountains, and then be willing to die for righteousness, and then we shall be grafted in again. Very important. Show how much the Most High is a loving Allah. 24.
For if thou wert cut out, let me go again, Romans 11:24. For if thou wert cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and wert grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?
So again, we see basically the same thing I was saying earlier. The original seed would be just so important or much more important. It says, for if thou wert cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree? So it is basically pretty close to what I was saying earlier. You know, being is chosen, being an Israelite, it is easy to graft it back in as long as you do the will of the Most High. Turn away from your wicked ways that was given to us from this wicked world. All right. So what I've been doing from earlier is just walking from path that have a better understanding, living here today, have a better understanding of what is required of us, so we can make it in the wilderness, and from the wilderness in the kingdom of the Most High. I said this morning was a bunch of reading, and we are going to get in the last section with some reading. Brother B, if you could prepare for us 2nd Esdras 67. 2nd Esdras 67 to 140.
Second Esdras?
Yes, 2 Esdras 7.
Yeah.
67 to 140. You're going to read while I interject.
67 to 140?
140, yeah.
Hold on.
And Esdras is one of those books that is that in the Bible. So it is very important to know that they did take out or did not put in some of these books in the Bible. There are so many books. When Esdras was told to write some books, and he was instructed to give some to the worthy and the unworthy, and to give some to the wise. So of course there are some more books out there that only the wise will seek for them and find them.
Coming up, bro. 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 7.
Yeah.
67.
To the end.
Yeah. 767. Wow. I'm seeing only, how many verses is it to 10 something?
To 140.
Oh, I don't have it in any of these
67.
versions. Well, I don't have it in
That means I will
so
have
much. Hold on, let me get it. 10, what you said?
To 140.
That's a whole lot of reading, bro.
Yeah, no, they're short, very short verses.
Oh. Maybe you can.
Huh?
Maybe I can read it until I get. Okay, I think maybe I'm coming up on it. No, hopefully. No, this is a short
Yeah,
version
this
as well.
section.
Not all
Okay, I'll
translations
just
have
start reading
this.
until you find it.
Maybe you can start reading it
Okay,
until I get you.
Do that. This section will give us a better understanding of what will happen if everything we talked about earlier, if we find ourselves in line. What I will be reading will give you an idea of what will happen. Also, if you're out of line, it will also give you an idea what will happen after we die. So like I said earlier, I was just going through a channel from beginning to end. We should leave here not the same way we came. And I'm sure that many of us will have to do some adjustment and to get very serious because judgment is coming. And I know that this is not a TD Jakes or it is not whatever. It is a humble Clevon. But when I say it is coming, I mean it is coming. All right? Second Esdras 7. I'm going to read here from 67 to the Ezra, angel of the Most High was speaking to Ezra, and he would go back and forth to bring him words from the Most High. So he would ask Ezra to go and fast. And when Ezra fasts and come back, he would hear something new. And many of these things, these questions and answers are the same one we are asking today. So if we listen carefully, many of our questions will be answered and we can have a better understanding for it. Excuse me. Close that door. All who are born in mixed up with violations, full of sins, and weighed down with crimes. If we were not to come into judgment after death, it would perhaps have been better for us. He replied to me, when the Most High made the world and Adam and all who are descended from him, he first prepared the judgment into the judgment. Now understand on the bias of your own words, because you said, consciousness grow with us. Those who sojourn on earth will be tormented precisely because, although they were aware they committed violation, although they received the commandments, they didn't keep them. When they did follow the law, they falsified its content. What say? How will they respond in the last times? How long a time the Most High has put up with those who inhabit the world, but which wasn't for their sake, rather for the sake of the schedule that he has established for the unfolding of the times. I replied, if I have found favor with you, show this also to your servant. After that, give up his or her soul, will we be kept asleep until the time come for you to renew creation, or will we be tormented right away?
All right, bro.
To me. You
All right,
find it?
bro. Yeah, I found it in a different version though, but yeah.
Okay, I'm at 76.
Verse 76. And he answered me and said, let me put it on the screen. All right, continue, let me put it on the screen.
Yes.
Continue, please.
Okay, 76. I replied, if I have found favor with you, master, show this also to your servant. After that, as soon as each person give up his or her soul, will we be kept asleep until the time comes for you to begin to renew creation, or will we be tormented right away? I will show you this too, but don't associate yourself with those who have shown contempt, and don't count yourselves among those who are tormented. You have a treasure of works stored up with the Most High, but it won't be shown to you until the last times. Now, a word about death. When the final sentence goes forth from the Most High that a person should die, and with this, I just want to say to us, reason to fear this world. And that is why we are told not to fear our life to the death, because we are seeing here the Most High is the one who have the last say on death. So the world can kill you because they feel like the Most High have the last say. So let's not be afraid.
All right.
You find it?
Yeah.
79.
79. Are you seeing it on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And if it be one of those that have been scorners and have not kept the way of the Most High, and that have despised his law, and that hate them that fear Allure, these spirits shall not enter into habitations, but shall wander and be in torments forthwith, ever grieving and sad in 7 ways. All right. Arbo says this part is very important.
81.
Very important because those who have been scorners, these are the people you speak to and they are mocking you. Yeah. And have not kept the way of the Most High. And that have despised his law done away with. Okay. So that's how we tell you that almost every Christian is destined to perish. The only ones that can be saved are those who had no understanding, but whose heart was after his law, who by nature do the things contained in the law. The law done away with people are in problem. All right? And that hate them that fear Allure, those people who hate those who fear the Most High. All right? Continue, should I?
Yes.
These spirits shall not enter into habitations, but shall wander and be in torments forthwith, ever grieving and sad in 7 ways. So they shall not rest in peace, Brother Wayne.
Indeed.
So law done away with people shall not rest in peace. All right? That have despised his law. Yeah.
And you see, that is why for every single funeral at the end of the program or somewhere in there, you see rest in peace. But
yes.
You know, it is also conditioned. I mean, not everyone will be resting in peace. And we're going to see it on further.
Yep. All right. The first way, because they have despised the law of the Most High. You see the first one, Wayne?
Yes, they despise. You are going to tell me that the law is done away with. This is going to happen in the end. The first way will be, they have despised the law. The very first one, they despise the law. So if the law is done, why is it saying they despise the law? Continue.
The second way, because they can't now make a good returning that they may live.
So again, that's it. At that point, you can no longer make any decision to come and do what is right. You have all this time, all these days, I'm saying to us, deny yourself so the Holy Spirit can lead you back to his Father. No one knows when his or her time will be here, when death knock on your door. You can't turn it back. I mean, guess what? I cannot forget to mention that we have to deny ourselves. I can't forget it. $83.
Oh. The third way they shall see the reward laid up for them that have believed the covenants of the Most High.
So, hold on. So that means all those Christians, those people, otherwise, whatever they call themselves, the time will come when they will see, because here in 83, the third way, they shall see the reward laid up for them that have believed. So even though you're talking to them and they're trying to rubbish your truth or the truth, the time will come when they will say, okay, they were right. But guess what? At that point, they cannot make any adjustment. It is final. That is why now today I'm saying to us, let us get ready. Let us see.
Bro.
We don't know what tomorrow may bring.
Bro, I have another observation here again.
Go ahead.
Notice it says the reward laid up for them that have believed the covenants.
Yep.
Plural. No, plural. Remember, the Christians, New Testament people believe in only one covenant. They say, oh, we are in the new covenant, so we don't have any need for any other covenant, anything else.
Right.
The true believer believe in the covenants, all of them together. We believe in the progression of the covenants from one covenant onto the other. And we believe that none of the covenants are done away with. They are just magnified one into the other. There is a post on justaword.org that speaks about the covenants. Law Done Away With. There's a 3-part Law Done Away With series. And the first part of it deals with the covenants and how the covenants morph into each other, or each one of them move into each other, having different aspects of the previous covenant in the new covenant, and then the new covenant being magnified more than the one before. So we take all the covenants, but the new covenant is now magnified through Messiah. Meaning the old covenant is not done away with, but the old covenant is now, it is the same old covenant, but it is a different covenant, meaning the same, but it is now magnified, so it looks different, but it's really the same. So all of the covenants is what we believe in. And which is why Revelation 14:12 says, here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Allah and the faith of Yahusha. The old covenant is not done, it is just magnified, as it says in Isaiah 42 verse 21. All right, that was a mouthful, so go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, 84. And one more thing on that one, that is why every letter is important. Every letter is important. That one is make a significant difference.
Thank you very much.
84.
The fourth way, they shall consider the torment laid up for themselves in the last days.
So you see, they will start to think about their own. So now they see what is laid up for the ones to believe. Now automatically they will say, what about ours? Because there must be some for us too. And they will see all of those taking place in those last days. 85.
The fifth way, they shall see the dwelling places of the others guarded by angels with great quietness.
All right. So they will see the souls of the ones who have done well, who was victorious, being guarded by angels in great silence. They will see all of those also. That is not what we want to see. Because if they will be seeing all these things, we should not want to see them. And of course, we shall see what we will be seeing as long as we keep on seeking to be holy, seeking to fully deny ourselves, so we might be in the kingdom. We also will get a chance to see what we will see. Continue.
The sixth way, they shall see how forthwith some of them shall pass into torment.
Yep, they will see that too.
Yeah, they're gonna see right away, they're gonna see what is going to happen to them. So that is what's gonna make really They're going to be tormented from the start to end because they're going to see that there's nothing good laid up to them. And all the talking we have been talking to them, all the talking people have been talking to them, because even among us, it is possible that we shall fall away because we have to endure to the end. But they're going to see all the talking we have been talking to them and then realize, wow, they were speaking the truth. Nothing but torment awaits us.
And also still on 86, we need to be very mindful that all of those who we just read out was in the world, people who are worldly. That is why I'm saying we must seek not to be of this world, because this is what they'll be seeing.
Yeah.
So now we are seeing deeper what will happen. We have to want to run away for our lives, not to seek it in this world. 87.
The seventh way, which is more grievous than all the aforesaid ways, because they shall pine away in confusion and be consumed with shame, and shall be withered up by fears, seeing the splendor of the Most High, before whom they have sinned while living, and before whom they shall be judged in the last times.
So now they live all this time in this world, disrespecting, committing sin against the Most High, doing all manner of evil. Now they get a chance to see the splendor of Him who will judge them. And guess what? At that point, they cannot change their mind. They cannot say, oh, I didn't know. It was you.
Wow.
Please forgive me. I didn't know it was you. You look just like me. Forgive me. No. That is why we have to focus on being righteous now. Let it be a part of us. Let it be our lifestyle. Let it grow in us. Let it take seed and grow in us, a seed of righteousness. To see all these things, those who will see, which lives and believe and be of this world. 88.
All right, so now we come to the good part. This is the reward of the righteous. This is the word that should motivate us to walk in righteousness, okay? Now, this is the order of those who have kept the ways of the Most High, when they shall be separated from the corruptible vessel. In the time that they lived therein, they painfully served the Most High, and were in jeopardy every hour, that they might keep the law of the lawgiver perfectly. Are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right, you are. Let me repeat it.
Yes.
Now this is the order of those who have kept the ways of the Most High, when they shall be separated from the corruptible vessel. In the time that they lived therein, they painfully served the Most High, and were in jeopardy every hour, that they might keep the law of the lawgiver perfectly.
All right. So again, very important. So when we are here now seeking to be holy, seeking to live a righteous life, seeking to deny ourselves, and the time is going to come when we're going to realize it is a good thing that we were doing all those things. Every single hour, every second, we must seek to be righteous, seek to obey the laws and keep us the law. Because if we don't do that, we will be like those who see the things that we would be seeing had we kept the laws and the commandments and living like the Messiah lived.
All right. Bro, I have a contribution to this as well.
Yes.
It shows us how hard it is to keep Torah. It says we're in jeopardy every hour, that they might keep the law of the lawgiver perfectly. So it is not a stroll in the park. A lot of us, when we say come to the law, we start questioning the Torah. Oh, do we have to wear fringes? Do we have to do this? The women can wear pants because it is cold, and because this, and because that, and because the other. It says in jeopardy every hour, that might keep the law of the lawgiver perfectly. those who are in the kingdom are those who will be in the righteous lot, will be those who strive to keep the law perfectly, not striving to just do enough. That's what it takes. Okay, I can do this and I can do that. No, these are people who are zealous for the Torah and are willing to lose their jobs. They are willing to, even some people, I can't get the day off, so I won't be able to keep the feast, and I won't be. We put everything in the world before obedience. So those who are in the righteous lot are those who put obedience first, put the Torah first, and then everything else is in jeopardy because of the Torah. Yeah, bro.
Yes, and just to add to that, which you just said, you know what? I don't know how else to make it be known that there can be no other way. And the only way to master it is to deny yourself, because everything that is going to be, or that is in your way, not to do the will, not to, everything is self. Even your job, where I have to pay my bill, that is yourself. Because if you trust about that, he will provide for you in his own way. So everything will be self that will be hindering you from doing the will of the Most High. That is why we have to deny ourselves. Otherwise, we will not make it. I mean, I can't say I'm sorry, but it is a fact. We cannot make it until we deny this flesh. Go ahead, Brother B.
Wherefore, this is a teaching concerning them. First of all, they shall see with great joy the splendor of him who takes them up, for they shall have rest in 7 orders.
Hold on there. So we see here, we shall have rest. And the rest right there, let's just remember and be reminded that if we don't partake in his rest while we are here today, we will not take part in his rest after this life. So very important there.
Yep.
Let's say we can live as we like and come tonight, we pray, forgive me, and die tomorrow and be okay. No, we have to take part in his rest here now. So when that time comes, we may also take part in his rest. Go ahead.
The first order, because they have striven with great labor to overcome the evil thought which was fashioned together with them, that it might not lead them astray from life into death.
Hold on, Brother B. Hold on.
Yes.
So, Brother Samuel, what we are trying to push for, that we will realize the first order, because we have striving with great labor. We have to keep on pushing, even when it seems difficult. We have to keep on doing it. Even if we have to go in mountains, we have to do it. Even if we go food, we have to do it. Even if we go and speak truth and they fight us, we have to maintain love. We have to, because the time will come when we're going to realize that, wow, it is a good thing. I did all these things. It's a good thing. Yeah. I did not rebel. It's a good thing I did not take their vox, because it is this time they are trying to hinder me from. So it's a good thing I didn't do it. It's a good thing, Brother Samuel.
It's what you're saying, Brother Wayne, is so true. And if we look at the passage in Revelations, it says, and those who saw the Mashiach return, he says, what did they do? They mourned, they wept. All right, yep. They wept not necessarily because they regret, but even the lawful, right? Even the saints, they had been through so much that it was such a relief to have seen the Messiah coming. So they couldn't. Yep. So you see, we have to go through a lot. There's a lot that we will go through, and we need to brace ourselves. And it will only take surrender and obedience. When I say obedience, I mean raw obedience. There is no other word to it, right? Our obedience is going to be like one of a fool in such a way that everything that we hear is what we do, just as we hear it. All right, because it says it's not just hearers, but doers.
Hey, it's cut off.
It's frozen.
Oh,
Yes, very important. It is almost like nothing good come easy. We have to be so prepared. After today, we cannot leave here with the same thought. We have to bring ourselves all the way down. Come what may, it doesn't matter what it takes. We have to come to the point where we bring ourselves down. So we are too relaxed. Sometimes I wonder if we think that we are untouchable. That which the world is doing, they are in a haste. They are pushing so hard to get it done. And we are still lingering like, okay, we are okay, we are fine. We are not fine. We need some different mindset. We need different approach. We need to know that comes what may, if we have to drop all of these and move, let's do it, have to walk sideways. If the Most High say walk sideways, just walk sideways. If you say go on your head, go on your head. Because you must look crazy in the eyes of man. The thing that those things the Most High use for his own purpose is not what the world expects. So that is why if you look strange and we look stupid towards, to the world, but it is good. Because what is foolish in man's eyes, in the Most High's eyes. So let us prepare to go through some dreadful time coming. I can't describe them, but let's prepare to go through some dreadful time. Get ready and stay ready. 93, Brother B.
all right. All right, 92. Let me say something about 92 again. Because they have striven with great labor to overcome the evil thought which was fashioned in them. This is a sin nature that is within us, that gives us the propensity to sin so that we are led unto the death. So it says, they have striven with great labor to overcome the sin nature. You cannot just sit back and relax.
No.
We have to follow the Messiah. The Messiah is the antidote that we were given in order to overcome our sin nature. Follow him. Follow him in obedience to Torah. Walk as he walked. Follow his teachings in obedience to the law. And you shall overcome the evil thought that is fashioned together in you. So we have to diligently follow the Messiah. We cannot be religious, because saying that we are obeying law. No, we have to obey the law through belief in the Messiah, following the Messiah. Do what he did, follow his teaching, love as he loved, forgive as he forgave, sacrifice as he sacrificed. That is how we overcome the evil thought that is fashioned within us.
Yeah, continue.
Continue?
Yes.
The second order, because they see the perplexity in which the souls of the ungodly wander and the punishment that awaits them.
So just as how the sinful ones saw what is laid up for the ones who are in righteousness, the same way the righteous will see what is there for the ones who are unrighteous. So I know sometimes today or nowadays one would say, you know what, I want to see what the Most High will do to all those wicked people. So we will see, as long as we stay in righteousness. It is saying that we see what will happen to those folks who were unrighteous. So it is going to happen. We will see. 94.
The third order, they see the witness which he that fashioned them bears concerning them, that while they lived, they kept the law which was given them in trust. Law again?
How is it that the law is done away with? It is dangerous. It is dangerous. Look here, that teaching is dangerous because what we are seeing here, it is very important. It is a must for us to be in the kingdom. It is a must. It is just like trying to get a driver's license. They want one ID or something showing proof of residency or a paycheck. If you have one less, you will not be able to get that license. You need all the law is done away with. We need it. It is important. It will help us to go in the kingdom. So for anyone who is still thinking that the law is for those people, it is done away with, you are in danger. We need to understand that the scripture is our roadmap, and we need to follow the guidelines that the Most High set for us. Continue.
The fourth order, they understand the rest which, being gathered in their chambers, they now enjoy with great quietness, guarded by angels, and the splendor that awaits them in the last days.
So, when I said earlier that scripture says, he will trouble them who trouble you, and he will give rest or give joy back to you. It is coming, but it will happen on your time. Everything will happen right on time, not my time. With all these verses, and we look back and see how we lived our lives. How are we going forward starting today? No one here today can say, I didn't understand that part. I did not hear that part. I didn't know. Everyone here who hear what is going on, what is being read, you are now accountable for the way you live your life going forward. Because you cannot say, I did not know. Even if you're going to say, I did not know, what I will do to help you out, believe this when I say to you, deny yourself totally. And if something else that was said you did not know, the Holy Spirit will bring it back to you so you can know. Because at that time, it will no longer be you, but the Holy Spirit that will be leading you. Continue.
The fifth order, they rejoice, seeing how they have now escaped from that which is corruptible, and how they shall inherit that which is to come.
Hold on.
While...
Hold up, Rabbi. Hold up. Hold up. So the fifth order, they rejoice. They are jumping, happy, seeing how we have escaped the vax. Yes, because had we gone and taken that thing, we would be doomed.
Yep.
Escape the vax from that which is corrupt. It is corruptible. We have, look, the time is drawing nearer and nearer and nearer. We have to understand it for what it is. Don't take it lightly. Yes, it's a very small group, but the Holy Spirit is moving among us. Don't take it lightly. We have to assess the way we go forward. We have to deny ourselves continually. Because the Most High knows everything that is being said today, that it will be said before today. Spiritually. Go ahead, Brother B. Or if you have anything can add to that one, you may do so.
The fifth order, they rejoice, seeing how they have now escaped from that which is corruptible, and how they shall inherit that which is to come, while they see moreover the straightness and the painfulness from which they have been delivered, and the large room which they shall receive with joy and immortality.
So, Brother B.
Yeah. You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So where do you think is that room?
They,
because we see here, while they see moreover the straightness and the painfulness from which they have been delivered, and the large room which they shall receive with joy and immortality. That it made for us. There'll be my room in there too, right? And your room, Queenie's room, Samuel's room. Yeah. So we can have a room here and there. So we have to turn away our back from this world to go to be in that city, a better place, a heavenly place that the Most High has made for us. 97.
And also we have to see that this is what it says, the straightness and the painfulness from which they have been delivered. People, we as believers, our lives are not comfortable lives. It cannot be comfortable. Straightness and the painfulness from which they have been delivered. It is an opposite thing. You're going to live life painful, stressful, full of persecution, full of problems, and the other people in the world are going to be living comfortable.
Yeah.
And you're going to say, why me? Why is this happening to me? Because the Most High deals with opposites. You do your time being persecuted here, and then you have your joy in the time to come. You live your life being comfortable and happy and everything pleasant here, then you are going to pay in the life to come. It's opposites. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to add
go
to
ahead.
that, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to add to that, one day I went from a train, and when I went to my destination, I realized I was lost. And I thought the train would turn around or something, but now the back become the front of the train.
Yeah.
And so will it be with this life.
Yeah.
You see, if we continue to do the will of the Most High, the end will now be the tail,
Mm-hmm.
and the tail be the
Yep.
head. So if in today's world, in this world, we are having sadness, doing the right thing, the time will come when we will be having fun in righteousness, and they will be sad in agony, in pain, and all those difficult times. So let us enjoy this time, because to suffer is not killing us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to perfect us for that time to come. Go ahead.
The sixth order, when it is showed to them how their
98.
face shall shine as the sun, and how they shall be made like to the light of the stars, being henceforth incorruptible.
98.
The seventh order, which is greater than all the aforesaid orders, because they shall rejoice with confidence, and because they shall be bold without confusion, and shall be glad without fear, for they hasten to behold the face of him whom in their lifetime they served, and from whom they shall receive their reward in honor.
Very important. This is what we want to see. Also, for some of us who sometimes might be wondering if we are going the right way, as long as we continue pushing and seeking the Most High, the time will come when we shall rejoice with confidence, knowing for a fact, because this is the last day. This is it. There will be no other time. This is the last thing to us. I'll be there. It will happen. Full confidence. So let us look at all these things with full assurance that it will happen as long as we continue to fully deny ourselves, so the Holy Spirit can lead us into all righteousness. Let us not pull away our hand from the Messiah. He is walking with us daily. Let us leave our hand in his hand, and he will lead us into all all right. 99.
This is order of the souls of the just, as from henceforth it is announced to them. And aforesaid are the ways of torture, which they that would not give heed shall suffer from henceforth. And I answered and said, shall time therefore be given to the souls that they are separated from the bodies, that they may see that whereof you have spoken to me? And he said, their freedom shall be for 7 days, that for 7 days they may see the things whereof you have been told, and afterwards they shall be gathered together in their habitations. And I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, show further to me your servant, whether in the day of judgment the just will be able to intercede for the ungodly, or to entreat the Most High for them. Whereas fathers for children, or children for parents, or brethren for brethren, or kinsfolk for the next kinfolk, for the next of kin, or friends for them that are most dear. And he answered me and said, since you have found favor in my sight, I will show you this also. The day of judgment is a day of decision, and displays to all the seal of truth. Even as now a father sends not his son, or a son his father, or a master his slave, or a friend him that is most dear, that in his stead he may be sick, or sleep, or eat, or be healed. So never shall anyone pray for any another in that day. Neither shall one lay a burden on another, for then shall all bear everyone his own righteousness or unrighteousness.
That is it. We all have to give an account for the way we live. Continue.
And I answered and said, how do we now find that first Abraham prayed for the people of Sodom, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness, and Joshua or Yahusha after him for Israel in the days of Achah, and Samuel in the days of Saul, and David for the plague, and Solomon for them that should worship in the sanctuary, and Eliyahu for those that received rain, and for the dead that he might live, and Hezekiah for the people in the days of Sennacherib, and many for many. If therefore now, when corruption is grown and unrighteousness increased, the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so then also? He answered me and said, this present world is not the end. The full splendor remains not therein. Therefore have they who were able prayed for the weak.
Hold on, Brother B.
But the
Hold on
yeah,
there.
go ahead.
So you see, I oftentimes try to explain to us that this is not it. This world is not the end. Many of us sometimes live like this is it. You can live as you like and that's it. It is not the end. There'll be a continuation.
Yep.
And this world, we don't want to be passed away in this world. Go ahead.
But the day of judgment shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is passed away. Intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, but righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to have mercy on. Yeah.
Hold on. So you see, when we persevere, we go through all those things, those difficult times, what we will realize that there will no more of those things coming to haunt us. They will be all cut down, cast away. It is no pure righteousness. So it is such a great feeling to know that this will happen after we live this life in righteousness. When we see these things to come, it should push us more to do that which is righteous. Otherwise, we just, I'm not saying that this world can give us that which we need. They still want a piece more of this world. If you realize that something is coming for you, work towards it. Because if you don't work towards it, that thing might be for somebody else. So let's just work towards this time to come. Comes what may, push, seek to be holy and stay holy, because the very fact that the Messiah will come back like a thief in the night, we don't know what time. We don't know what time he will come back. So the best thing for us to do is to be holy and stay holy and wait holy. So when he comes, he might find us holy. Go ahead, Brother B.
Okay, where are we now? I
think you were at.
All right. Then shall no man be able to have mercy on him that is cast in judgment, nor to thrust down him that hath gotten the victory.
Hold on, Brother B.
I answered then and said, yeah.
Go back to the verse there, please.
Then shall no man be able to have mercy on him that is cast in judgment, nor to thrust down him that has gotten the victory.
So then shall no man be able to have mercy on him that is cast in judgment. Listen to what I'm saying. This verse will be your point. No one will have mercy on you, because that point you cut off the connection with the Most High. The Most High made us with your DNA to connect with him. And if you go and take this box and allow them to mess with your DNA and to manipulate what the Most High wants for you, you cannot call on him because the connection is cut. So I don't know how much more to tell us. Do not go mess with the box. Go ahead,
Yeah, there, bro?
Yeah, continue.
No, as you were speaking about victory, and you were speaking about the vax, where are we now? Yeah. As you were speaking about victory and I was speaking about the vax, it brings me to Revelation 15:2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Allure. So it's very significant that you spoke about the victory being victory over the mark, as it says in Revelation 15, verse 2. So what is actually saying that no man can petition the Most High for those who have taken this thing. Very important. Yeah, continue, bro.
Yeah, that was it. Continue.
I answered then and said, this is my first and last saying, that it had been better that the earth had not given you Adam, or else when it had given him, to have restrained him from sinning. For what profit is it for all that are in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment? Oh, you Adam, what have you done?
Wow. Exactly.
For though it was you that sinned, the evil is not fallen on you alone, but upon all of us that come of you. For what profit is it to us if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves most miserably are become vain. And that there are...
When I look on, Brother B, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, go back to verse 119. Leave it right there. So when we look on verse 19, the question was, for what profit is it to us if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? Guess what? That is why we have to deny ourselves, because we see that there is no other way. We did not bring down this on ourselves. There is no other way. We can fix it. All we can do is to deny ourselves, and the Holy Spirit will take over and lead us. We can lead ourselves. We can do that's right in the flesh. We cannot make the right decision in the flesh. So we have to deny ourselves. That's the only way. Continue. 120.
And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves most miserably are become vain. And that there are reserved habitations of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly. And that the splendor of the Most High shall defend them which have led a pure life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all. And that there shall be showed a paradise whose fruit endures without decay, wherein is abundance and healing, but we shall not enter into it. For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not what we should have to suffer after death.
Hold on there. So we see, for while we lived and commit iniquity, we considered not what we should have to suffer after death. That is why we are going through these scriptures today, so we can unsuffer after death if we continue to commit iniquity. So I'm just hoping that every one of us here today are really paying attention, so we will not fall in the category of the ones who commit and keep on committing iniquity. 127.
Then he answered and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as you have said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say.
Hold on, Brother B.
Bro. Yeah.
That if, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah,
I was
I'm hearing
saying,
you.
that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as you have said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I said. And rush to Revelation 3, verse 20. Revelation 3:20.
Okay. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me.
Hold on, before go to 21. Again, everything right here is in line with denying ourselves, because if we knock on, if the Messiah knock on our door and we open it, we are simply saying, okay, I surrender, come in. That's it. That is you denying whatever you think, whatever you want. You are saying, I deny it. You let him in. And let's see what will happen if we let him in. 21.
To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne.
That is the whole thing. So now we really see and understand more and believe more that before we let him in, we could not make it. We could not be overcomers. It is only when we surrender and let him in, he comes within. He lives within us. What we do, we do. What we say, he say. That is, the Spirit lives in us. So when he speaks through us, that is us. Just like him and his Father. Now it's him within us. So, and to him that overcometh, he will grant to sit with him on his throne, even as he overcame those times and is now on his Father's throne. That's the whole thing. We have to give up on ourselves because we cannot do it. That is the only way we will be overcomers. Go back to the other book, please, Brother B.
All right, where were we?
I think it's
Okay.
Joshua 1:28.
All right. So I have another observation. Where were we? 128, you said?
Yeah.
If he be overcome, he shall suffer as you have said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. Life is just one big reality show. We see this on the TV shows. People are battling from start to finish to see who will overcome, right?
Yeah.
Reality shows. That's what most of the reality shows are like. This is what life is, one big reality show. If you overcome throughout this journey, that's why life is a journey. That is why we are followers of the way. The way is a path. It is a journey. We are not Christians. We are not Hebrew Israelites. We are followers of the way. We are Hebrews and we are Israelites. But we do not follow any religion. We follow the way. The way is a journey. It is a pathway to righteousness. And so, this is it. We have to overcome. It's a reality show. You have to overcome righteousness. You do not fulfill a religion. You fulfill righteousness. And religion keeps you from righteousness because religion gives you a limit. It limits you. But when you are following the way, there is no limit to your righteousness. So, in this reality show, we have to overcome. So you have to be a follower of the way in order to overcome. The Spirit has to be able to lead you wherever the Spirit wants you to go. It cannot be limited by a religion which says all you have to do is do this. Or if you do this, then you are okay. All right?
Indeed.
Verse 29. For this is the way whereof Moses spoke to the people while he lived, saying, choose you life that you may live. Same thing.
Yes, same thing. And just to add to that one, choose the life that you may going to choose. The vaccine is doing the opposite. The opposite. They are seeking to save their own lives.
Yep.
130.
Choose life because life is in the Torah.
Yep.
That's what we choose.
Exactly.
Follow the way.
So if they choose the Torah, they will go and they will see what is true and what is life. And they will understand not to go take that death. Thinking it is life.
Yeah, bro. Because if they follow the Torah, then they would go. I have to insert one of my favorite verses here. If they chose the Torah, then the Most High would give them his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for them to overcome. But without the Torah, they do not have the understanding. Psalm 119, 142, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. All right, and then we go Psalm 111, verse 10. Thy law is the truth, so they have to seek truth. Any lies can't work with the Most High. He said, no one who believeth or maketh a lie can enter his kingdom. Psalm 111, verse 10, the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, a good understanding of all they that do his commandments. So the Torah is what is necessary for them to overcome.
And that is why, and that is why we see many of those who are going to receive that poison, the Christian, because they don't have it. Because had they read the Torah, they would get a better understanding, and they would not try to save their life. Because the Torah will explain to them very clear who life. So if they have it, they would use it and not go for that death or that vax or that poison. It is very, very clear. Very, very clear. They just don't have it. And it is there, but they reject it. So therefore, they have to go and seek on their own for life. Seek to live on their own, not realizing that they cannot save their own life.
Yep.
Continue, we're almost there.
And if they had put their trust in, and if they had put their trust in Torah, they would be seeking to keep the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread of the Most High, because with that he told us that no plague nor no pestilence shall come nigh our dwelling. That is the vaccine that he gave us, the spiritual vaccine. But they have rejected it, so they have to run to the vaccine of man. All right.
But also on that, can you just imagine that even in the season of Passover, there are so many people going to very same day of the Passover.
Very few people what?
Are going to sell their soul on the same day of the Passover.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Wow. All right. Verse 130. Nevertheless, they believe not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me, which have spoken to them. So that there shall not be such heaviness in their destruction, as there shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. In other words, the sinners are going to be like waste matter, as we see in Jamaica. The Most High is not going to even think about them, but he's going to joy in those who are righteous. 132, I answered then and said, I know, Master, that the Most High is now called merciful, in that he has mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world. And compassionate, in that he has compassion upon those that turn to his law.
Again. You know, so
That,
you see, Brother B,
yes.
he said, in that has compassion upon those that turn to his law. That means, you know, so many people who are living the way they want, but if they turn to it, they can still have a chance. If they turn to it, whatever way they are going, if they turn to the way, they will have a chance.
Yes. And long suffering, for that he long suffers those that have sinned as his creatures. And bountiful, for that he is ready to give rather than to exact. And of great mercy, for that he multiplies more and more mercies to them that are present and that are past, and also to them which are to come. For if he multiplied not his mercies, the world would not continue with them that dwell therein.
Very important
and one
there.
that for, yep.
Very important there. You see, that one is in bracket. For if he multiplied not his mercies, the world would not continue with them that dwell. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a death sentence hanging over the world, and his wrath is hanging over the world, but if it was not for his mercies, place would be destroyed long ago.
Long ago.
And one that forgives, for if he did not forgive of his goodness, that they which have committed iniquities might be eased of them, the 10,000 part of men would not remain living.
Wow.
And a judge, for if he did not pardon them that were created by his word, and blot out the multitude of offenses, there would perhaps be very few left in an innumerable multitude.
That is it. That is it. So for some reason, I believe strongly that today, hearing and teaching here is in the form of a warning. The very fact that I saw that fire last week in the spirit, that judgment is coming, and just as how we have preparation day for the Sabbath, we have to be preparing for that judgment day. We have to take out everything from our lives which will cause us to sin. Whatever it is that to get us to holiness, that is what we are supposed to, nothing less. We have to be ready and stay ready. I hope that someone finds something relevant in what was said today, make changes in our lives to go forward, to understand more of what happened when we died, to understand more who we are, to understand more our place and our expectation, because judgment is coming. And after that time, there will be no time of repentance. So this is all we have for today. And like I said, y'all be blessed and seek to fully deny yourself. And I'm going to open the floor for Brother Samuel to give his contribution.
Yeah, bro. Thanks very much. That is I don't know. It's more than a word in season or a word in time. It is a Rhema word right now. We need to latch onto it and run with it. Um, I just want to add on to you because you've said everything. I don't even think there's much to even say, but you have said everything. The times in which we are living in is dangerous times. All right, it's not a time of safety. All right, so we need to be very aware of our environment. Everything around us you need to take very seriously because what you may look down on might catch you on your hindsight, all right? It might catch you off guard. So we need to be very, 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 very aware of iniquity, sin all around us. Please. But thank you, brother. You have shared it all. This passage, this scripture you just read is I think it's the beginning and the end. It sums up everything. All right. There isn't any excuse. But this morning the Holy Spirit was really pressing on me with regards to, I mean, those in the group have seen the messages, but we have to take everything serious, like literally serious. You cannot look back on anything. We have to take what we are doing very serious, and that's what I have to add on. Um, Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brother Samuel.
Thank you, Brother Wayne.
Since Brother Downey is on, let me hear from Brother Downey.
It's a good teaching today. I really enjoyed the teaching, and as you said, we have to really make some adjustment to our life pertaining to the word. So it's really good. That's all I have to say right now. Try to make some adjustment along as I go along, including the word, make the adjustment. Okay.
Okay, Brother Wayne, you have to try to sum it up as soon as possible, huh?
Okay, let me hear if De La Cruz have anything you want to add.
Wayne.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Wayne, we have to try to map it up as soon as possible.
Okay.
So if anyone coming on, let them be short. Delo.
Oh, praise.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Yeah, a short contribution here because of the video. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Just to say that it is a blessing to hear the messages that I'm hearing. You know, the understanding that I have now is way different from that which I had before. I'm knowing the truth. I'm now learning the truth, and you know, I give praise to the Most High for the message that Brother Wayne just released, you know, just gave. That's my little bit.
Uh-huh.
To you be the glory. All right. So I guess that is it.
All right. You finished, Wayne?
Yeah. that's it.
Okay. So today is the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Thank Brother Wayne for that presentation, his first presentation here on Just a Word TV. And you can hear Brother Wayne on Just a Word Radio. He is on at 9 o'clock in the mornings, and we know that he is on vacation in Jamaica. We can try to get him on maybe to do a night slot for us, because Samuel, I have a slot, Samuel has a slot, so Brother Wayne, you need to have a slot as well. So we're thinking about having you to do an evening program, night program, all right? So you can listen to us on Just a Word Radio. So want to thank you. This is the end of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Thank you all for joining us here on YouTube. Please share if you care. Where am I? Please share if you care. Please like if you like, and subscribe, and leave your comments on this video and other videos, all right? So until next time, this is Kazak Eliyahu Yasharal from Just a Word, all right? Thank you for joining us, and thanks to all of those from the Just a Word family who were here today, all right? Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
No, let's